Hey guys, welcome to season 2, episode 10 of the MKAU show. Today we have Shaven Wookie. We got Shaven Wookie back. We got Brashy back.
Hello.
Bit of a regular lately. We got Fletch.
Evening or morning,
we-
whenever you listen to it.
Yeah. Good evening, good morning, good night. And we've got Bossman Sub-Zero 2K.
Good evening.
So I thought we'd like normal rituals. We'll go through what we've been up to lately. So has anyone been playing something they would like to brag or boast or hype up a little bit? I know. Look at Brashy, the smile of Brashy's
Yeah,
face.
he's
I knew he was gonna
bouncing.
go.
So yeah, I just finished. Finished it a couple times now. Life is Strange. True Colors.
Yep.
So good, so good. And my current game of the year, I reckon.
Born early.
Yeah, I am. It is by far the best game I've probably played in a couple of years now. To be honest. Um,
Were you a fan
I
of the
thought
originals?
not really because they're episodic, and I do not like episodic games.
Oh, is this one not episodic? I didn't even know that.
Oh, this is just a
Full-blown
full
title.
game. Yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, I absolutely fell in love with the music in it. It's absolutely brilliant. The voice acting is amazing. The visuals is it's just, the whole thing is just like pretty. Like it is immaculate, and like lets you stop during the game to like reflect on what's been happening in the game so far, and you'll just literally just sit there and just look at the scenery while listening to like this awesome music.
You said
And
you got to talk one of the voice actors as well, didn't you?
yeah, I tuned in to Katie Bence's stream because she was streaming for the first time and she voices Steph, and so I typed in chat and had a bit of a chat to her about me reviewing the game and how much I liked it because Steph is my favorite character in the game, and she's reprising her role because she was in Last of Us 2, 1, sorry, Last of Us 1, I believe she was in, and yeah, she's reprising
Life
her
is
role.
Strange.
Yeah,
One.
yep. Because I believe that's with the girls, because the second one's with the boy Max. Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, in the first
Yep.
one, yeah, so she was in the first one, and so she's reprising her role in this one, and the DLC that's coming out in 10 days, 10 days ish, is a DLC all about her character a year before the actual game. So, a year before True Colors starts, and it's all about her character. So I can't wait for that. I've already bought it, so yeah.
He's fanning. He's fanning.
Yeah, well, I know this afternoon I just got a notification. K-Vents liked my Twitter post with the review. So
Oh, that's good.
Awesome.
I was
Who
just
did?
about to mention if anyone wanted to read our review, it's already on the website. Is that alright? Yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
yep. So,
Yeah.
so I was pretty excited about it because I told her, I'm like, oh, that my reviews, I'll let her know when my reviews come up. So I tagged her in it, and yeah, so she
Oh, that's
liked
good.
it. So that was really cool. So I'm fangirling a little bit at the moment. 'Cause,
Yeah.
yeah, that only happened like an hour ago. So
Oh, really?
yeah, so
Oh, that's good because the review's
Nice.
been up a couple of days now.
yeah.
So-
So I tagged her in, I think yesterday,
Yep.
and yeah. So
Time difference. She's
I was pretty
American, right?
excited. Yes, yep.
Yeah.
Katie Benz.
Oh, that's a proud
So
moment.
yeah. So it was really good, and I just started playing Kenna this afternoon. So
Yeah. That's about Kenna.
it also is very pretty, and we'll see how I go towards the end. But at the moment, Life is Strange is still my game of the year. But I don't know. I have high hopes for Kenna. This is probably the game I was most excited about.
Yeah, you've spoken about it like most
A
of the
lot.
year.
Yeah, a lot. So, and so far, yeah, I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's me.
Well, I'm stoked that you mentioned the music's really good because my favorite part, like, I've reviewed every Life is Strange game we've ever got, but I don't have a PlayStation 5. So I'm really stoked that you said the music was really good because the indie music
Yeah,
throughout
it is
just
so
the
indie
whole
too.
series is amazing.
And
know?
Angus and Julia Stone actually did the soundtrack for True Colors.
Oh,
So
that's
there's
pretty
a
cool.
whole bunch of Angus and Julia Stone music, and then I love Angus and Julia Stone.
Yeah,
So,
they're Aussies, hey?
so yeah, yep,
Yeah.
they're the brother sister duo. Big
I
jet
think they
plane and everything.
debuted their music on Triple J a couple
Yeah.
weeks
Yeah.
ago.
Yeah.
They were the winners one year with Big Jet Planes.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
You know
Yeah.
when they did the
That's
Post
awesome.
100? Yeah.
Years ago. Years ago.
Years ago.
We were even there when we had the party, Simon. We had a party one year for it, and they won. Yeah.
Yeah. We're
So
playing beer pong.
Yep.
that was also pretty. Like I've actually even got a playlist now that I'm currently listening to all the time. It's just My Life is Strange, True Colors playlist.
Yep.
And it's just all the songs from the game because it's just
It's
absolutely
so
amazing.
good. And it
And
just fits.
they've been, which I forgot to put in the actual review, but they've got like some games do now the actual streamer
Link.
streaming link button, so that
Yeah.
you turn the button so it gets rid of all the copyright music.
Yeah, that's cool.
I've seen some
Stream
funny
safe
videos
mode.
of that actually. Like
Yeah.
there's one section where there's like a bunch of them. They were gonna start like air guitaring, but
Yeah.
since there's no music, it's just a bunch of characters.
Yeah.
silently.
Yeah. That would. Yeah. I was thinking about it, I'm like, oh, it's gonna be so weird when people use it. But so that's all. Like, if you're gonna stream it, that's fine. But you have to play it off stream as well to get the full effect of the game, I reckon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's me. So yeah, my excitement is pretty high.
What are you up to, Simon? Because it's been a while.
I
Used to be
haven't
Tarkov
been-
nearly every stream.
Yeah, it used to be Tarkov. I haven't played as many games as playing as much. I've just been going out and doing things.
Yep.
Going out.
Anything
See the
super
world.
nerdy?
I've actually one of the games I reviewed recently was Encased, and
Yep.
it gives me major Fallout 1 and 2 vibes. So
Yep.
I think I'm about 50 hours into it.
Ooh.
Think-
Yeah.
Been doing that at night time after work and jumping into it. I can probably see how many hours I've got. No,
Yeah.
sorry. 30 hours and 50, 60 hours all up, but I'm about 30 hours in the last week.
Oh shit. So you're like feeling it.
Yeah. It's bring back the major like classic RPG vibes.
Yeah.
And one of those games I just like to really dive into and just get play it a lot. But besides that, no, I've just been going out and seeing sights. It's good to actually
Living his
get out
life.
after COVID and go around and do stuff and go around. That's pretty much it. Yeah, it's not as many games
It's
as I
bad when
like to.
gamers want to get out of the house.
Oh yeah, 100%. It's I had holidays planned, and especially with PAX cancelled, I had that planned. It's I've just been pretty much seeing the local sites. It's all I can do at the moment. Kind of wishing I could go overseas, but that's just one of those things.
Might be a little minute before we can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We could even go down to Melbourne for PAX.
PAX.
Nah.
Yeah, MK was like 4 ready for PAX, and then boo.
I don't think anyone wants to be in Melbourne right now.
No, I think Melbourne's in the same path as Sydney at the moment.
Riots and
the
all
riots, yeah.
protests and shit going on. Sitting there watching that at work today.
Was there another one recently?
Yeah, well,
today.
they had one yesterday and then one today.
Oh jeez. Up in Brisbane, it's so chill. We're just like,
oh yeah.
Okay.
Watching news, it's like because what New South Wales had another 1,022 cases and like 8 deaths, and then it's like Queensland 0 cases.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And it's just
But we don't even
everyone's going
riot
out.
about having to stay inside. What? Okay.
Whatever.
It's hot outside anyway. We'll just stay.
Yeah, it's
too
getting
hot.
hot now. It's just everyone will be at the beach.
Mm-hmm.
What have you been
That's
up to,
it.
Sub?
Me? Just
Yeah,
working
what have you
mostly.
been
I've been playing, played Deathloop. Been playing a lot
yeah,
of...
tell us about that, actually. That's probably one of the biggest things we've played lately.
What do you want to know?
Whatever.
Is it
Whatever
your
you want
game
to
of the
talk
year?
about.
So far it is. Yeah, it's actually pretty good.
Yep.
And you got featured on the cover? Like your review?
Yeah, so
You
the
did?
review score was featured in the local ANZ region for their,
Go Subby?
for their, their promo stuff with a few different outlets. But no, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I was surprised. I mean, I thought a game where you have to completely keep replaying the same levels would get a little bit boring and repetitive, but it doesn't. So, if you liked Dishonored or any of the games by Arcane Studios, then definitely give Deathloop a go. I know a lot of people can't even play it because it's a PlayStation 5 exclusive, but
So
I
it's not
think
even on PlayStation 4, is it?
no,
It's just 5?
it's just 5 and PC. I think it's on PC as
Okay.
well. But I think
Mhm.
it's only a year timed
Yeah.
exclusive,
coming-
so
it'll
you'll
go to Xbox
others
next year.
eventually be able to play it. But even people can't even get PlayStation 5, so
Are they still having issues with the PC version?
I don't know. I have heard
Those
of
issues.
I have heard of people say that they are having some pretty bad problems with the P. I don't know what the problems are, but problems with the PC version and buying it on PlayStation 5 to play it. So I don't know. I don't know. I'm not too sure, but definitely worth having a go if you do have a PlayStation. Pick it up. Rashi, you played it?
No, not yet, because I've been mainly focused, because after I Life is Strange and then Kenna, I'm like, oh, I was looking at it though, because it does give me sort of like Returnal sort of vibes as well.
It is a little bit. People
I
are
think-
people. Some people. I haven't played. I haven't played Returnal, so I didn't compare it. But
Well, I
yes,
think the
people.
only thing would be the same as the fact that you get to start again. You have to start again from the very start and work your way back through again.
Sort of, yeah. You kind of get two. So you do get a couple of like rewinds. It's not really rewinds. When you die, you kind of go back to a certain point and then go back even further if you die again. If you die like a third time, you completely restart the day from scratch.
Yeah.
But when you do
Yeah.
die completely, you do lose all your weapons if you haven't used the in-game mechanic where you can bring your weapons in over into different loops. But
Okay.
That's pretty cool.
but if you die, you will literally just start with your pistol again. Well, you start with nothing. You wake up on the beach again with absolutely
Yeah.
nothing. But at
That
least you
reminds
know.
me, yeah,
But you know,
reminds me of
but
Returnal.
you know where to go and you know what weapons to get, and it's not that bad. But
You learn pretty quick, huh?
you eventually, as you play, you can start harvesting this material where you can start bringing the stuff back with you after each loop. So it's pretty good. It's pretty interesting actually, and the multiplayer is pretty weird. Pretty weird where you can invade people's. I know invading people's games is pretty common. Like I think Dark Souls does it, whatever else, but it's interesting, especially when there are other players not expecting it. You just go in and
Do you
mess them
invade
up.
them to like kill them, or do you invade them to help them?
You invade them to stop them from breaking the loop. You're there to protect the loop. They're there to stop the loop. So you go in and you literally. So you go in and kill them, and they'll die, and they're going to start again.
That's crazy.
So if you get killed by an invader, does
If you
that
get
count
killed,
as like the major death? Because you
yeah,
said
that's a
you can
death.
die like
Correct.
twice.
Yep.
Wow.
That's a
All the way
death.
back
So
to the
it's-
beginning.
So it skips the 2 little checkpoint thing.
It's pretty funny. It's pretty funny.
Wow.
Oh, that's cool. I'd
It's-
love to do that to a big streamer.
Oh,
I
Imagine
can't
that.
wait to see the speed runs of those games. 'Cause
Like it's probably rare for it to happen to you because not a lot of people probably have it. I
Mhm.
guess compared to if it was on every console, but
It'll get there.
if you invade someone and you just kill them over and over, it's just hilarious.
See, those are
I'd
the games
rage.
where, like, happens in Dark Souls and stuff like that. It goes on sale, and then a lot of new people will come into the game, and then you got these super pros that have been playing for a long time, just going in and wrecking house on all these little newbies, and they'll be like, "This game
Yeah.
sucks."
Christmas noobs.
Because I did that with Dark Souls, like, and I got on Dark Souls chain really late, and I just kept getting invaded by these guys that are god tier, running around in their underwear, just slaughtering me.
Yeah, you couldn't spend like hours doing it. It's just kind of a thing that you jump in and mess around with some people and jump out. You wouldn't do it for too long. It's
Yeah, okay.
because it can be pretty quick, and they might get
Mhm.
the shits pretty quick too. But other than that,
we might see a few controllers through a screen, maybe.
well, I mean, like it's a yeah, it's just an inconvenience. I mean, like I said, you know where all the weapons are again when you come back in. Nothing changes the next time you go back. Every enemy, every weapon, everything's exactly where it was. So you know what to do. You just got to go get it. Other than that, been playing a bit of NBA 2K22,
Well, here we go.
but I haven't had a lot of play with it, but a little bit. Been a bit busy.
You should show
Um,
the podcast. Well, people listening wouldn't see, but the people watching the shoes that you got from 2K.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, NBA
Everyone imagine
shoes.
right now. Wow.
Yeah, everyone imagine.
Yes, 2K were nice enough to send me out some of the shoes to promote the game. Pretty good, $260 boots. Too bad.
Yeah.
But it's pretty good. I haven't played an NBA 2K game in a while. I think some of the I don't know who reviewed the last game actually.
Not me. I don't do sports games.
Probably
But it's been a while since I played one, and it's come since I last played one. It's very different. It's come a long way since I last played one. So I'm gonna have to go through a couple of the previous reviews and just compare, I guess.
Yeah, Redgrave said that to me when I came on and started doing reviews this year. He's like, "You'll get all the sports games now."
Yeah, actually, you know what? Funny you say that. I think NBA was one of the first game he ever reviewed.
Oh, really?
I don't know how long ago though. I don't know if it was last year or the year before.
I don't mind
NBA
sports games. Like I've reviewed
basketball
FIFA
game.
games before. It's alright. I just haven't played an NBA 2K game in a while. But yeah, it's pretty good. I'm just going through career mode at the moment, mostly. Sometimes I'll drop in and do some 3v3 games with some randos, but I'm just trying to
They
get.
have like arcadey stuff. Pretty serious basketball.
No, they do. So they've got the city, which is like it used to be called the neighborhood. It's just this big open world map, I guess, and you can just walk up to like courts and other bits and pieces. It might be
stuff, don't you?
yeah. There's quests. There's like because you get to it's pretty big. So there's like the game gives you like a skateboard or a bike to ride on to get around quicker.
All the
so
things
there's
necessary to play basketball.
yeah. So there's like skateboard races that you can have. Little quests like that.
Out lime scooters.
I haven't seen any lime scooters. I don't think I've seen any lime scooters. I've seen little tiny like RC like remote control little cars that you can get into and bikes and skateboards. But I've only just started really getting through this career, so I haven't. That's why I haven't got my review done yet. I haven't had much time, unfortunately.
I'm playing a whole bunch of different games. I'm getting a lot of value out of Xbox Game Pass at the moment. Like, just like not trying to plug it or anything like that. It's just been a good steady stream of games, like a lot of indie ones that are coming out.
Have you played 12 minutes?
Yes, that's
I started
what I was about to talk about.
Yeah, okay,
that was one of the games that I was waiting for so long, and almost forgot that it was coming out, and was trying to avoid so much of it and stuff like that. Like, first day it came out, so many people were streaming
I haven't
it.
been watching streams. No.
Voice acting is really, really good in it. Like, Willem Dafoe, Daisy Ridley. Really, really good. Like, if you can always pick Willem Dafoe. Like, there will never be a role, even if he changes his voice, you're gonna know it's him.
Yep.
But yeah, like I played Omno as well, which is just like a really small indie game that was fun. The big title that I played is Tales of Arise. Like I did the review for that.
Yeah, that's popping off at the moment on streams and stuff.
It's amazing. I really, really love it. It's hard to try and sell to someone that hasn't really experienced like a JRPG type game.
Actually, I was gonna say, it kind of reminds me of something Brashy would play.
Yeah, like it gives you like Final Fantasy vibes, like from an outsider's perspective. But it is its own thing. It stays true to the series. But see, I reviewed a game called Years 9 for Switch earlier, and kind of similar concept. You build a party system, and you go through and you do combat, and the combat's it's separate. So as soon as you touch an enemy, it starts its own little fight arena and stuff like that. But the attention to detail on those games is really dialed down. Story's always good, but everything around it kind of looks bland, and this game kind of just fixes all the things that I struggled with those games. Like, they just feel like they're low effort or low budget type thing, and they've really thrown thrown everything at this game. I'm 50 hours in, and I got to the point where I thought the game was going to end, and it's only finished and starting the next section of the game, and it's amazing.
Like a chapter.
Yeah.
A chapter.
But yeah, like I've got a group chat going with like me and another friend and stuff like that are playing the game, and every now and then it's just a what, why, like,
Yeah.
really really cool. It's my favorite game of the year. Like I don't think that game's going to get recognized or even nominated. Like when it comes to game of the year type thing,
Yep.
you kind of stick with like what's tried and true. Like obviously like Sony's got a pretty good repertoire at the moment. Returnal, Kenna, even Ratchet and Clank. Ratchet and Clank's really really good this year too.
Resident Evil. It'll be like
Yeah,
franchises people know and love.
yeah.
You know.
So Tales of Arise has been around for a long time, and when you're playing it, the thing that still kind of is hard for me to swallow is in combat, every single person's yelling out their attacks like a Pokemon.
Yeah.
As well as having a conversation on the side. So there's like text scrolling along with them having a conversation while yelling out what attack they're doing. It's a lot. It's a lot going on. So I found that funny. I was like, I can't say that was the biggest selling point for me, but it's kept me going.
Yeah.
And the Halo Infinite flight starts again this weekend. So
Ooh, I got in this time.
That's the beta, right?
yeah, so
Yeah.
it's just 4v4 this weekend because last flight they had was just against bots, and the bots were really good. Like the bots, intelligence wise, was amazing. It just really showcases all the Halo games have had really good AI in them.
Yeah.
When you play Call of Duty and stuff like that, they're fun, but realistically, you can memorize exactly where everyone is. So when you watch the speedrunners, they run into a room and they shoot exactly where everything is. And all the Halo games, as you go through them, it's different every time you walk in a room. So that's what I'm looking forward to the moment. I'm hoping Halo doesn't get cancelled this year or delayed.
Or delayed any further. Oh.
But I guess we'll talk about that later. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I've been up to. Going down the Tales of Arise rabbit hole.
Yeah.
You need to climb out of it
crazy.
though.
Yeah, it's been like I had never heard anything about it, and then all of a sudden, like I would have people come into my stream and be like, "Have you played Arise? Have you played Arise?" I've had like 4 different people this week ask me if I play it. Like
It's my first Tales of Arise
I've
game
never
I've ever
reviewed, but
played.
I've never played it.
It's worth checking out, but it is a long haul of game. If you want to play that, you got to be prepared for like 50 hours. So
Yeah. Which we don't really. Well, yeah, we all don't.
yeah,
really
it's
have a lot
it's
of
it's
time
hard
lately.
it's hard to give it that, but I was lucky enough to have
In
like
between everything.
well, I had some annual leave saved up, and I'd taken it off, and it worked timed in perfectly for that. So I
Yeah.
got to get a boost of that, but now I'm back in working life. Hours slowly drying up, but
Yeah. So
really good game.
I haven't been dedicated to any particular game. I've just been bouncing around. Like I've been playing a little split game, but we'll talk about that later. Hunt Showdown's got an event that's ending tomorrow, so I've been doing that where you get like a bow and a tomahawk because they've got like native Indians in there now. What else been playing?
How
I
many
played
season passes are you got running at the moment?
I've got like 8 going at the moment. It is horrendous. I did dip into PlayStation, Brashi, and I played Clip the Snail. Oh my god, it's so cute. I love games with animals like humans. So it's like a post-apocalyptic world, and the humans, which were the giants, are all extinct, and all these animals have like superpowers. And there's like moles with shotguns and rats running around, and you play as Clint the Snail, who's a snail who has like a pulse rifle, and he just runs around and is trying to investigate why there's a plague and stuff. But the whole environment is made out of like human things. Like a bridge will be made out of like paddle pop sticks held up by like spoons, and like
Is it
the
like a
lanterns
3D
along the
game or
path are like
2D?
It's 3D.
It's like a top-down
Okay.
Kind of like a
isometrical.
top-down, yeah.
Okay.
It's a top-down twin stick shooter. So I did struggle. There was like this one boss I did like 20 friggin' times before I killed him because I'm not good with twin stick shooters. Like I don't have the brain power to like focus on direction and shooting at once. But it was so good. Like it's so pretty. It's a pretty game. Like from the music to the graphics, it's just a really gorgeous game. So yeah, that was one of my favorites. Yeah, other than that, we did check out Vanguard, but we can talk about that too later because I want to actually have a chat about what sort of betas are going on at the moment. But yeah, but let's dive straight into Gamescom. Gamescom was in August. We didn't cover it because we're a little bit bogged down with reviews because it's got really busy since Gamescom. So that was on the 25th to the 27th of August. Does anyone want to point out anything that really like stuck out, stuck out to them?
Saints Row was
Yeah,
definitely
yeah,
one. It was interesting that they went towards a reboot, but
Yep.
considering last Saints Row was, it just seemed like, you know, that was the end of it. They went to, like, the last DLC was, you know, they went to hell. You know, they versed aliens. Where else could you go with that? So it was, you know, it's interesting to see to the point where they're actually going into the reboots, because you don't see that many rebooted games. It's more of sequels, and if anything else. And the direction they've went, it's less as wacky as the original.
they're scaling back. Yep.
Yeah, scaling it back and kind of creating like a nice solid foundation. They did say none of the original characters will be there. It'll be new, like names the
Like
same,
Johnny.
but everything else is going to be brand new, created from bottom to top. And it's I'm hoping it still has some of the charm and a little bit of the humor, and it does show what the cinematic what's been shown. It still does display some of it, but you know, we'll see if when we finally get some gameplay.
Any of y'all like Saints Row fans? Or
Yeah,
played
yeah.
it? Or
I like
I
Saints Row.
checked out by 3. Like I played 3, but that was where I checked out. I didn't even pick up 4 because of how far it came from the original.
Rush?
Yeah,
I played the first one years and years ago, but yeah, because
What?
I'm not a big fan. Well,
Yeah.
it was fun
No,
at the
really.
time. But because it reminds me so much of Grand Theft Auto
Well,
as
I was just
well.
about to say that, like, if they, a lot of people are happy they're scaling it down, but I wrote down like, I don't know why they're doing that because I thought the crazy was good because if you scale it back down, it's just GTA
Yeah,
in a nutshell.
yeah.
and that's sort of why I didn't progress with it from the first one, because the first one was pretty much Grand Theft Auto, and I think the last Grand Theft Auto I played was Vice City, which I have to say I loved Vice City.
Oh, Vice City was fantastic.
Oh, it was so
Yeah.
good.
Vice City is my favorite.
Yeah,
Because people over.
it was just like basically like Scarface in a game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I've seen
but
a
yeah,
lot of
it was great.
backlash, like
Yeah.
over the like Saints Row trailer. Like I've seen a lot of backlash, like people saying they've gone woke or something. I didn't really get that from the trailer, but maybe I didn't look hard enough.
Yeah, I didn't really get that from it. It's, you know, we'll have to see more. Well, you know, the main protagonist that you'll be playing is a female, but I don't see any correlation by making that woke. You know, there's plenty of games which have female protagonists nowadays, and you know, like, you know, back in the day, like Lara Croft. You know, it's like it's normal having male or female or whatever other anything else as a main protagonist. So it shouldn't really phase people and by branding it that way. You know, it's just silly, just pointing, you know, saying a name and saying it's this. But you know, it's I like bringing it scaled back down to less having it less as wacky, and you know, referring it to like having it as another GTA. Segueing to that, a lot of people were disappointed that they didn't show anything. Some people were expecting a GTA announcement, maybe. Number 6, that was, you know, some people said it was on the cards, but rather than just another, you know, it's going to be on PlayStation 6 now, or whatever, you know, it's rather than just redo the last one.
Didn't they just do a trailer for enhanced graphics or something?
Yeah.
And then delayed it.
I think until they've given up with re-releasing next gen for next gen for next gen, I don't think they're going to announce a new one.
No, because
No,
right now they're like
Maybe after this generation, maybe after this re-release again, maybe they will then.
All right, I'm gonna throw this out there. Marvel's Midnight.
Yeah, looks fantastic. Looks fantastic.
I said Doctor Strange looks amazing, but I don't want a Marvel XCOM game. I hate those games. I'm so bad at them.
Is this a fresh IP or is this a continuation?
It's a
I
fresh.
think it's fresh.
It's fresh.
Yeah, it's from. They haven't said it's going to be an XCOM game, but it's from the makers.
But it's an
of
XCOM game. We know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird because it's 2K that are doing it.
Yeah, it's 2K
yeah,
and the creators of XCOM.
I think it's weird.
Mhm. What do you think, Brash?
I'm just hoping it's going to be a bit darker
Yeah.
because
It-
it's got Blade and
Ghost Rider.
Wolverine and
Yeah,
Ghost Rider in it. I'm expecting something a bit darker than what they've
Yeah.
got going so far.
It's
But
sorry.
oh, there you're right. Yeah, okay.
No. This is kind of going. So if you're familiar with like the DC animated movies that have come out, one of the last ones that came out was Justice League Dark, which was all the magic and characters, and that was going into more of the dark aspect side of the DC universe. This like. The Midnight game is kind of on scale of the same thing. Yeah, they're going for they're
that's
having
good.
Blade, more of the magical characters, and also they've created a new character which is an original IP for the Marvel universe, which is the
That's
main
cool.
character for it. Which was, if you saw in cinematic, the coffin opens up and they had a person inside, and she's a new IP. So that's going to be an interesting aspect, and XCOM style games a
They're quite
lot.
dark anyway, aren't they?
What was that?
The aliens are taking over the planet. Like the XCOM games can be quite dark anyway. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, they can be quite dark. Was that, for example, the same style of turn-based? Gods of War. No, sorry, not God of War. Gears of War.
Yeah.
They did that.
Gears of War Tactics.
Yeah, Gears of War Tactics. They
Yeah,
went towards that,
that was awesome.
turn-based as well. Yeah, that was a fantastic game. So it's it can. I think it's going to work. I think it's going to work out pretty well. Some people may be a bit, oh, it's turn-based, but I think.
Wait, I'll give it the Wabbits one. Is it?
Well,
Well,
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
Mario vs. Rabbids.
Mario
Yeah.
vs. Rabbids.
Yeah.
I'll
that,
give it that.
yeah, that
That
was,
was my first Switch
surprising.
game. That was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And no one was expecting that to be like that. That was the turn-based game as well. So
Mm.
it's, I think, if we're bringing a few more IPs over to a turn-based strategy type, I think it's going to be interesting, and it's a new, fresh take on some of the older IPs, and especially of the Marvel universe, where for example, the last Marvel game that came out, that was good, but having like a nice turn-based with like some of the darker characters, and Blade as well, like Blade is a beloved
I didn't know
character.
Blade was in it.
Yeah. Well, it's Marvel was going to have them and Blade in the cinematic universe soon, so it's nice to have him implemented in it, and along with Wolverine as well. There was talks of having Wolverine. It was rumored they're going to have him in the MCU, like the little bit of an Easter egg in the next couple of movies, especially with like the internals and all that
Yeah.
kind of stuff with the movies. But yeah, I think the new Marvel game is going to be pretty good. It's looking forward to it.
Yep. Anyone got any else they want to chuck into the ring?
Oh, did you play the
Gamescom?
XCOM games, Brashy?
Which one? Sorry.
The XCOM games? Have you played them?
I've started playing the first XCOM because I think it was on special on sale or something like that. So I've actually got it on my PlayStation, but I haven't really had a chance to jump into it yet.
So what I find interesting about that is the XCOM games. Characters, when they die, they're dead. So open
That's it.
question to everyone: which character are you going to let die first? If there's permadeath in this game,
Marvel?
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's-
Who would I
like
let
in-
die?
because
Captain
XCOM games,
America, because he's hella annoying.
yeah, send him out first. It's like
He's
you're
too
not letting me
patriotic.
attack.
It annoys me. He would be the first one I'd send out with no like defenses.
Yeah,
Oh,
that'd be interesting. Rather they did that, where it's like permadeath, like XCOM.
Yeah.
yeah, that
They
would be
have-
interesting.
And they have stats at the end of the game, just like see who, who saved what character the most.
Well, do a whole X-Men old man Wolverine thing where Wolverine goes on a killing spree and ends up killing everyone.
Yeah.
You- Who would
That
you
would
check
that
out,
would
Sub?
get me to buy the game day one.
I don't
if,
care.
if that's what was
Yeah.
gonna happen.
I'm not going to play it.
Oh, Subby. Alright, I've got a question for Subby. Who would be the first one dead if like we were like MKAU was an XCOM game?
You for sure.
Me? No.
You can't do more than one thing. You can't do all the
Okay, and you pick me.
because you can't do more than one thing at once.
Oh, that's
You'll probably find cover and then struggle with the rest.
I was gonna say Juddy.
Nah, Juddy's fine. I've seen him play Warzone. He's alright.
No, you'd be in cover reading the stream.
Yeah, I would.
Like,
I
call
would.
it out while bullets are
She
coming
can't
in.
even do that.
He knows. He knows. I'll be in cover. I'll be
As
fine.
well as like monitoring someone else's stream as a mod.
That's hilarious. I'll check a few out there if you want. 'Cause a few things down, and you guys
Mhm.
can just talk. State of Decay 2.
What's this from?
To me, it looks like
Gamescom?
Back for Blood. Looks for Back for Blood and DayZ mixed together.
Is this Gamescom still?
No,
Yeah,
are
Gamescom.
you referring to the
I don't think so.
expansion, like a DLC for State of Decay 2?
Maybe.
That was
State of
the
Decay 3, I
trailer.
don't know.
Yeah, that dropped for State of Decay 2. So they're expanding some of the areas in the game. It's kind of like a DLC, just elaborating more on
Yeah,
the
it was more
on the
stuff.
open world. Yeah, more content. Along with that, there was also DLC for Wasteland 3 that was
Yes,
announced.
I did see that. Yep.
That one, and it's going to be like finishing up the storyline content for the game, which is going to be interesting. And they've reasonably, like, it's not going to be a hugely expensive DLC, which is fantastic. It's they're going to reasonably price it, just being
Just
on
to
budget
remind people that
size.
they're still here. We're still making
Yeah.
games.
Yeah. No, but yeah, it's good. It's that was also announced as well. Sorry, Stace. Continue.
That's alright, huh? This one's for Brash because he's our resident PlayStation not Forza. Oh my god. Horizon Forbidden West delayed to 2022.
Yeah, it's a little bit
That was announced at Gamescom.
yeah, a little bit disappointing.
Were you
I
done
had
with
no-
that? That's the
I
type
had
of
no
game you
faith
would
I was
play,
going to make
right?
it this year.
Yeah, I've already played the
No
played
games,
the
2022.
first one. I've already played and finished the first one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm super excited for it. So
Yeah.
being delayed is a little bit of a bummer. But there's a few things at the moment that have been delayed and pushed back. So
Yeah, it's nothing
it's
new,
just
right?
the way. Yeah, it's just the way of the world at the moment. But
What about this complete travesty? Death Stranding getting re-released, director's cut, with all this crap that should have been in the game from the beginning.
I was gonna buy it, and then I thought and it's still like $90 or something like that, or like $100 or something. I'm like, ugh.
Are
Like
they
if
going?
it was like $60, I'd buy it, but I'm like,
Yeah.
I'll wait.
Are they going to upgrade existing copies, or is this like you have to get the director's copy?
Because there's new music, there's new tracks,
There's no
Yeah,
free
but-
upgrade.
more
Well, yeah,
support
I'm
with the
pretty sure you have
robot.
to
there's-
buy it.
You don't hope
You
so.
gotta rebuy it.
Rebuy it.
Yeah, I don't think there's any free upgrade. You have to buy the director's
yeah,
cut.
that's
All
why.
games separately.
I think it might be probably cheaper than buying the actual full thing itself.
Yeah.
But actually no, it's a re-release, isn't it? So yeah,
Yep.
no, you'd have to buy the whole.
Yeah, it's
Pretty
a
sure
re-release,
they.
director's cut.
I'm pretty sure you have to buy it again. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
you have to buy the whole
crazy.
thing again. Yeah, because
If anyone buys that,
it's not a
Speaking of
DLC or
Horizon,
not a-
like
yeah.
I'm pretty sure Horizon's the last game where you can buy like a PlayStation copy, PlayStation 4, and then pay $10 to upgrade to PlayStation 5. Everything after that, it's what we were talking about in the last one. You got to buy a brand new one. Like if you couldn't get a PlayStation 5 and you wanted to buy a PlayStation 4 copy, tough. Buy another one.
Yep.
Buy another
Yeah.
copy.
Well, I just went through to get ready to put Kenna on my PlayStation. I went through and I upgraded a whole bunch of my games from PS4 to PS5 versions.
yeah.
All the ones that gave free ones at least anyway. But yeah, so that
Did
was
it cost you like $10 each game?
no. Some of them are just
Oh,
free,
for free. Some of them are for
which are
free.
good. But yeah. I luckily for me, I don't think I really got. I don't think I really had any games where I actually had to pay to upgrade them at
Yeah.
the moment. But that's only like 4 or 5 games anyway that
Yeah.
I've got. The only other thing I'd really had to pay for was the DLC, the Yuffie DLC for Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah.
Make
That wasn't super expensive for it.
no, it was like $30.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
And like it was so good too. Yeah. Yuffie is so much fun to play. Once you get to play her and Tifa in a party, it's gonna be insane.
Oh my god. Look at it smile on his face.
Or
Don't worry, it's only going to be
because-
another 10 years before the part 2 comes out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I know. But
That's funny.
in the meantime, there's Final Fantasy 16's Unspoken.
Have you been playing the online one?
Uh,
The big
well,
world one, I forget what it's called.
14.
Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah.
I played it for 4 years.
Yep.
I was cleaning up my old email addresses, and I deleted my old email address, and forgot that it was tied to my Final Fantasy 14 game.
Oh no.
So
Didn't someone
I'm
else
on
do
that.
that? Someone else we know did that recently.
Red
I'm
Grave's
on
gone
that.
through like multiple issues with that
Yeah.
with that game.
So
I know that much.
I can't play it at the moment. Well, I can. I could just rebuy it and start again from
With
scratch.
me with Pokemon Go, so
Oh no.
But that's like 3 years of my game gone.
oh,
So
that hurts.
I've tried contacting them to see if I can just change because all I need to do is just change my email address from what it was in the
To
game
attach
to
that
one of my new
profile.
ones.
Yeah.
But when I tried contacting them with COVID and everything, and because they were down staff, it's really hard to try and get in contact with them.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna try. I'll try again anyway to get back in contact with them. So I
Some
can
companies
get
will do it.
back.
Like
Yeah.
when I was on Twitch, my old account, it was like connected to an email address I don't use, and they swapped it over. I just had
Yeah.
to
So
verify some stuff.
well, so no, because I went through it, and I even I was able to log on to my app on my phone. My was the Final Fantasy 14 compendium app on your phone. It just gives you like your players, your character stats and everything like that. So I was even able to get onto that because it never logged out of it. So I logged on,
Yeah.
I got onto that, and I even screenshotted it and everything like that, and I sent it to him like, this is the account. I just need to change the email address that was this to
You
this
couldn't
email
change
address.
it in the app?
No, it's the only way you can change it is
You normally
need to go
verify it,
on.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you have to
It
go
sends
onto
an email to your old account.
They've got the yes, that's exactly right. They send they send you
Yeah.
an email, and because it's to the old account,
You can't get it into access.
I can't get it to verify it. So it's nothing.
I lost my email like account that was attached to my EA account.
Yeah.
And I couldn't play sports games, and I think I had an issue with Titanfall
Oh
2.
no, what a pity.
Oh, I love the thing is
Love
with like
sports
with Madden, I upgrade once every 4 years because it's actually a different game then.
Yeah.
So that's why it took me so long to realize that I didn't have access to it because I had like I think it was Madden 16, and then I bought Madden 20 and I couldn't play it. I'm like,
Madden.
it took me about a month to get my
Nice
account
game.
back.
I'll chuck a few more out and then we'll move on to the next topic because we are going ham on talking tonight. Look at us go. I'll just chuck these out randomly and you guys can say what you want. Sifu, Stray Blade, Death Cathedral, Into the Pit. So Into the
looks
Pit.
good.
Yeah, Into the Pit is a fast paced, like it looks like a shooter, but you use magic the whole time. Like you shoot magic.
Oh
Which
yeah,
is
yeah. I saw
cool.
the trailer for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a
so that-
roguelike game,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
roguelike game. Yeah.
It
Instead of
looks
using
like Skyrim,
guns,
it
it's all
plays like a
magic.
shooter. Like you
Yeah.
Mhm.
shoot fireballs and
I
wield
thought
magic.
it was a VR game. Seeing the hands at the start,
Yeah.
I totally thought it was a VR game, and I'm like, wait, no, it's more like an FPS. So it's
Mm.
that would
Yeah.
be interesting if it was a VR game because it kind of suits it because you're playing with your hands.
Yeah.
But yeah, I totally thought it was a VR game. But yeah,
Oh, I'm totally down for that. Like these are my smiley face games that I saw from highlight videos. Death Cathedral looks like Dark Souls, but a side scroller. So I instantly thought of you and Red Graves. Like I would die to watch you guys
Yeah,
play
it
because it
reminded me of
looks
Salt and Sanctuary.
amazing.
isn't
There
that
was-
that
there was
one where your body decays over time?
Yes, yeah. Like that looks cool. Stray Blade is like one that I would love to play. It looks like an RPG and it gives me like a real Witcher 3 like combat feel. And it's one of those sort of games where if you die, like time doesn't stop because you've died. Like your decisions affect the game and it just keeps on time keeps cycling even though you're dead. So I'm down for that. And Sifu is that like kung fu game. And I've written here like I'm not gonna play it, but I would love to watch people play it. Like it's
Art
one of
style
those
looks really
games.
good.
Yeah. Like it looks so clean and it actually showed gameplay. And it gives me kind of a what's the one you did, Brash? You know, the Kickstarter one?
Oh,
Do you remember that? but it has like a cult following. But the third one was kind of horrible.
Yeah, Shimoon,
Shamu?
Shimoon or something,
Shamu?
Shimoon or something.
Moo.
Yeah,
Shenmue.
Shenmue.
Shenmue,
Yeah,
yeah.
it gives me
Yeah,
kind of
Yeah.
one and two,
but,
one and two
like,
were amazing, and then they brought out like this massive. Yeah, I do remember that, and it
Yeah.
tanked horribly.
3 was oh, it was alright, but it was a little weird. The
Yeah.
vo- the like the
Spaghetti
their
coding, put that game
yeah,
together
well,
from pieces.
Yeah,
and the
like I get a
the
vibe.
writing was really weird, like the where they were translated from Japan to English,
Yeah.
Japanese to English. Yeah, they translated it wrong, so like their speech, like the things they said didn't make any sense. But
Like an old school kung fu movie.
yeah, I think I still got the video on my phone because I recorded it, like the person saying it, and it's just yeah, it was fucking hilarious.
Alright, let's move on to the next topic. So we covered Gamescom. So September 9th was PlayStation 5-ish, PlayStation/PlayStation 5. Their showcase keynote because they didn't attend E3. Oh, can I just add before we move on though? I thought Gamescom overall was really good. Like how it just kept rolling stuff out. Like I thought it was better than E3. It was just a constant release of trailers, constant release of gameplay. Like I found it the way they did it was just way better than E3. But anyway, going on to PlayStation's keynote. Yeah, how do we feel? A lot of remasters, Uncharted, Alan Wake, Knights of the Old Republic.
That's the
Knights of
old
the Old
Republic.
Republic is it.
That's the old
That's the
Republic.
big one.
That's it. That's all. That's all
That's
anyone
anyone you
needed
care
to hear.
about?
That's all anyone needed to hear. Like to get people excited. Like I can't wait. My mate is like scrounging around now, desperately trying to find a PlayStation so you can get Knights of the Old Republic.
They haven't even started that though,
Oh,
have they? Because it was just a cinematic trailer, right? Or
Just a
It's
teaser.
just a trailer, yeah.
Yeah, cinematic trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
so
yeah,
it's just like a video to like show their intention that they are doing it, or
I think
have they actually
might have-
started it?
I think that might have already started, but it's not going to be out till next year.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's coming anytime
I
soon.
think they said like this time like next year.
Yeah,
Okay.
and that's the feeling I got from a lot of the play. Like I wrote down, it wasn't a great. Like we know PlayStation in general, their showcases are always amazing. I thought it wasn't great, but it was definitely better than nearly everything at E3. Like,
Yep.
even at their like worst, PlayStation's like showcase was still better than some of the ones at E3. But everything felt like it was all like long time coming. If you
Yeah.
like I sat down and watched the whole thing, and nearly every trailer felt like, yeah, this ain't coming this year. This ain't coming this year. This ain't coming this year.
Just a repeat of PlayStation 4. I don't think that PlayStation 4 had like a knockout library until Bloodborne, which was about 3 years into the life cycle of it.
Yeah.
And then from that point onwards, it was just bang, 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 like after every single year, like Blockbuster and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
by that time, people will be able to buy a PlayStation 5. So that's pretty exciting.
I don't know.
Well, I don't know. I read an
purposely-
article today saying PlayStation 5s will be sold out till 2023.
It's still going to be
It'll
hard
very
to
hard
get
to
hold
find
of.
one even next year.
Just in
and
time for the
Crazy
next
is
GTA
that?
5 trailer.
How
And,
crazy is that?
apparently the all the PlayStation 5s that are coming out now are not as good as the original set that came out.
Yeah, which is rare. Like the base model is actually better than the ones that are
Coming out
currently
now.
being
So
smashed out cheaply.
But-
But
I'm just I've got my PS5 already, so it's fine.
yeah, you're lucky. You
Uh,
got a pretty
uh,
early
uh,
one. Hey,
Wasn't it the
I-
go with
I-
the? Oh, you're going. Sorry.
Sorry, I was about to say, are you selling it anytime soon?
God no, that's like diamonds now.
Oh yeah, God no.
PlayStation's probably worth more than a diamond ring now.
Well,
Yeah,
remember they've gone through this with the history of PlayStation. Like the original PlayStation 3, when it first came out, could play PlayStation 2 games, and then they abandoned that feature. So there was like a 40 gig console, but it was terrible. But it could play PlayStation 2 games. So to sell it, it was worth almost twice what you bought for it. And then on the
Yeah.
PlayStation 4, when everyone had the demo for PT, and then they took that off the store, everyone was selling PlayStation 4s with PT installed for stupid amounts of money.
I thought the change was the fact that didn't they say they, I don't know, what was the reason with the change? It was they changed the heat sink size or something? Internal
The fan,
stuff.
wasn't it?
the fan, I
Oh,
believe.
the fan was different, but the heat sink on
Yeah, didn't you
the
watch a video on it, Subby? The guy
Yeah,
pulled
but
it apart.
he
two of them
did, but then he
apart.
got a lot of backlash after that video.
Why?
Yeah,
Because he was saying in the video that the performance of it was a lot worse when it wasn't. It was just getting hotter quicker or
Hotter.
something. But then
Which
someone,
fair dues is going to lead to performance issues eventually.
yeah. But then I thought I read somewhere that they said that it was cut back because I guess the first time around they just over-engineered it, I guess, and then they've realised that it's
They could do it
doesn't
cheaper.
doesn't really need to be that overkill heatsink wise, so they shrunk it back.
and now they're having issues.
Well, I don't know. Have they had issues? I've not read anything.
Well, I've heard it. Like I thought it was to do with the space on it. That
Storage.
storage was they even reduced the storage, or they were having trouble with the storage. Like everything that was in it was taking up too much storage.
No idea.
Well, they've updated now, so you can change the storage easily without it screwing up the console.
Yeah.
But I think
But,
that's just
Well,
because
the
of
latest
might
update
redesign.
sorted the storage out.
Mm.
I just
But
thought
again, like
I was
I'm
reckon
still
it's a
waiting
placebo
on.
effect.
I'm still waiting on them to bring out like a new was it SSD card for it, or the like, because they're like, oh yeah, you can
That's pretty
use
bad, eh?
you can really use whatever SD card is compatible, but if you do, then that pretty much avoids your warranty. So they have to bring out one that they're like, yep, you can use this one as the official.
no. They've already patched the last update for the PlayStation allows you to use any M.2 drive that is version 4 or something.
That's good.
You can already just walk into a store as long as it's got the same specs that they want you to use. You can use it. If you try to put anything that's slower than a version 4 or whatever it is, it just will say, "Hey, you've got a drive in here that's not up to spec." It just won't work.
Oh yeah,
But you can literally you can literally walk in and grab whatever it is, whatever. What is it?
Yeah, but Brash doesn't want to avoid his like.
There is no void. You just put it in.
Yeah, because at the very start, then like until we have something like until we
official.
bring out something official.
No,
you
I'm
put
pretty
it
sure they're allowing you to just change it as long as it's compatible with what their minimum specs are.
I
So
wouldn't
no,
touch it because I've been screwed over with warranty voids before.
Yeah, that's
me
what
personally.
that's just worried about. So I was waiting for like something announcement in the PlayStation.
Yeah, it was in their patch notes.
Showcase.
But here's me. I just don't care. I just plug in a like terabyte hard drive into it.
Oh,
Two
so
phones over there's the official Xbox one.
I have an external hard drive plugged in, and all my
Yeah.
PlayStation 4 games are on the external hard drive because you can't play the PlayStation 5 games off of the external hard drive.
Yeah, you can't on Xbox either. How stupid is that? Hey.
Well, you can, but it's not the X version,
Yeah, well,
so
yeah.
it'll be horribly hampered.
Yeah,
and doesn't.
Next gen.
Because it's not because it's just an external hard drive, not an SSD.
Nightmare.
As well, but I actually don't mind it because like that way I've got all my PS4 games are on my external hard drive, and then I just keep all my PS5 games on the actual console, so it saves up a bit of room.
Yeah,
But
I need to sort mine actually. That reminded me.
How's everyone's place? Like whoever has PlayStation 5, like this. As I said, like there's so many things that pop out, like of like propaganda and stuff like that. But they were saying that like the PlayStation 5 can haptic triggers were screwing up. Is that actually a thing, or was that just like an isolated incident that's blown out of proportion?
I haven't had any issues with mine.
I've no issues with mine. I love the triggers.
Yeah, because what, it's been out a year now. Like
Yeah,
the console.
Yeah, it's been about a year now. Yeah.
Yeah, almost. Yeah.
I think it was about this time in the life cycle of the Nintendo Switch where everyone said, "Hey, my left thumbstick is screwy."
I think the only issue I've had is with the actual controller deck charger.
I don't have a
I
deck charger.
bought that, and
A third party.
no, like the actual PlayStation 5 one.
Oh yeah.
So it's got 2 slots. You can put your 2 controllers. You can chuck your 2 controllers in there and charge it. But every now and then I'll chuck it on and charge them, and then I'll go to grab it later on, and the battery will be flat because it wasn't charging because it
Yep.
doesn't sit quite right in it.
Is that the
But
official charger?
yeah, that's the
Okay.
actual. Yeah, that one there.
Yeah.
So their actual charger, but yeah, like sometimes it works fine, perfectly, but then other times I'll grab a controller off and then turn it on, and the battery will be flat.
Realize it hasn't sat properly in it.
Yeah, so
So you
and
can
even
pretty
though it's like, I don't know.
so you can pretty much use any M.2 NVMe SSD that's version 4.0 in it.
Oh,
Any of up to 4 terabytes, I think it's the maximum.
well, I'm gonna have to fork out and buy one.
So as long as it's M.2 NVMe version
That's almost
4.0
enough to store
SSD, you can put it in it.
Warzone.
Yeah. For one game, Warzone.
Wasn't, yeah.
Yeah,
Don't worry,
I've
no
had-
one's playing it now, so it's all good.
It's all hackers anyway.
Everyone's
Back
like,
to the
"I'll get it now."
PlayStation keynote. Back to PlayStation. Anything else stand out to anyone?
I'll take it.
The
Tiny
only, the only
Tina's
thing I wanted to
Wonderland?
talk about, the only thing I wanted to talk about
Oh.
with the PlayStation keynote was God of War
God of War,
announcing that
yeah.
it's officially a duo, not a trilogy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the director came out and said trilogies take too long. He's like, it took
Yeah.
us too long to get these games out. The next one will be out in 5 years, and no one will care at that stage.
It does look so good though.
What do you
Yeah.
think about the character designs and stuff? There's a little bit of backlash, but there's a lot of
About
people
Fat Thor?
supporting it as well.
Not full.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thor
I-
got thick.
I reckon this Fat Thor would kill the Avengers Fat Thor.
Me and
honestly.
Thor have something in common now. We look at
Stop his
Yeah.
little cosplay.
Thor's now more relatable.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's saying now he finally has a body of a god.
Well, that's
So-
true.
He's cut. So it was initially planned as a trilogy because I didn't understand what you really wrote about that. So it was a
Yeah.
trilogy, and now he's making it just a sequel.
Yeah, because they wanted to have multiple arcs, and they alluded to that in the game itself. Because you come across like this section in the game, it's not really a spoiler, but like they show how he got there. Because obviously he started off with Greek mythology, and then all of a sudden this game starts and he's in Norse mythology, and everyone's like,
Nordic.
It's like, what happened here? What are you doing? Go back home. But yeah, so they show a lot of people thinking that the next theme would be like a Japanese theme because they showed some of that art style as well.
Roman or something, yeah.
Yeah, they've also got Egyptian theme on there as well. So it really depends on what year they've got and stuff like that. But Santa Monica Studios always change up their directors, and Corey passed it on. Like this is the second time he's done it, and he said, "No, I'm not doing it again." The second guy just said, "Yeah, we're just finishing the story with this one," because if everyone's already super excited about this one, it's going to be about what 4 or 5 years since the last one came out, which
Yeah.
seems crazy to say out loud. But wow, that God of War came out a while ago now. And they said by the time we finish this one, then we have to have enough content to make a third game, and by that point, it's going to be 10, 12 years since the first game came out, and it's hyped it up so much that by the time you play it, you're going to be disappointed. And I kind of agree. Like,
Yeah, do you think devs get bored of doing the same shit over and over again? They're like, come on, I want to just do something new now.
yeah,
You know?
Yeah.
Especially with something as good as that, you don't want to ruin something you loved.
I guess Uncharted's the only one for me that I feel like has continued that, gotten better each time. But I mean, like, I love Gears of War, and I still love the stories when I watch them, like when I play them and stuff like that. But they're on game 6 now, 7 if you include the prequels, and like,
Yeah.
man, it just
Yeah.
feels like a chore going through it sometimes. So
Yeah.
maybe they are right.
Yeah, well, I haven't played the newest God of War yet, but
what?
As a
I know.
PlayStation man, you know,
Jeez.
Hero Barbara.
I've
watched
got
people.
I've got it, but I just haven't played it yet because
Get out of here.
it's free. So I'm
Wow.
like, oh, okay, so I've got it. I just haven't had a chance to play it yet. I was
Don't
gonna sit down and
tell-
play it.
Everyone dies.
Don't
Yeah,
tell Distract, man. You'll be in
Yeah.
deep trouble. The second boss of MK, he never comes on the podcast,
Yeah.
but we all love him. We love you, Kurt. Our second boss, he is a diehard God of War fan.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You would be
I've
shocked that you haven't
played
played it.
You'll be crucified if you heard about
I've played the original ones, but yeah, I just haven't played the newest one yet. And I've got it there, and I've had it sitting there for a while. It's just that because I've had all these other games turn up, I haven't had a chance to jump into it yet. Because I want to
So
sit
is-
down and I want to play the whole thing out. But
Is this the most
Yeah.
controversial thing that's happened in MKAU history?
Sounds like I can't believe you've never played it.
But
It's
It's
crazy.
like him
But,
saying Mortal Kombat sucks. Like it's gonna be
Yeah.
devastating.
Like we're saying, like Tekken's better than Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. Whenever we do a best of, right? The second boss, best character, Kratos. Best game, God of War. Best music in a game, God of War. Best hype scene, God of War. Like that's how much he loves it.
Yeah.
I
Crazy.
still go back.
I'm so keen to play it, and I will pick it up and play it because I've already downloaded it and it's ready to go. I just need to turn on and play it. But now it's like Ken's coming out. I'm going to play Ken first. And
Yeah, like
Yeah.
so I will get to it.
I'm actually hoping they do like a PS5 upgrade to it so I can play through it again.
Yeah,
that would
like
be nice.
I still go back and watch the reveal of God of War, like the live studio audience thing, because they played the music live and stuff like that, and hearing the crowd go nuts. Man,
The
that
orchestral, hey.
it's so good. Like
Is that the year they had an orchestra on the stage?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just listening to the people go nuts, like that gets me hyped every time. I'm like,
Yeah.
if I've had a pretty bad week, honestly, go and watch the reveal of God of War. It is awesome. It still holds up to this day. It's like a 15-minute trailer, and even though
Yeah.
I've played the game and everything like that, like that's still such a great moment.
Yeah.
I need more live E3s and Gamecoms again. Go away, COVID.
That's what like we were missing at E3 this year. Something like
Yeah.
that.
Just
And
the
I think
Fanboys.
that's
personal
why
stuff.
it's the things that we just take for granted now. It's just like
It
trailer
is what
done.
we take for granted. Hey.
Yeah. So
Just
it's
the atmosphere.
yeah, the atmosphere, the whole, just seeing all these people there and just like someone comes out, about to do a presentation and just the crowd's reaction is just, it's part of the, whole thing of E3. And without that, I think, this year was kind of like, oh, okay, we have to put up, the whole deadpan, here's a trailer, which kind of like, that's why we were kind of used to Gamescom with all the constant trailers coming out. It's just like, it's the norm now.
Mm.
Yeah, it is the norm. It's crazy.
So does everyone agree with do you think it's a good idea to end the story here after a second one? You reckon they just
I
mic
think
drop and
so.
walk out?
I think
Well,
so.
if they
Leave on a high note.
if they feel like if they have to say like, yeah, I don't think we can do a third one, they probably should do a third one. Like they shouldn't force themselves to make it if they don't feel like it's gonna be good.
Yeah.
They know it's best, right?
So
I personally think it's cool. Like, hearing that it's going to be the second and final one, I'm like, sweet, because some people think that they're not going to get their value out of the story unless it's a trilogy, but that's just what we're conditioned to think, I guess.
Yeah.
Everyone just
Well,
expects
it's
it to be.
always gonna still be open. Like he's got a son. Like it doesn't have to be God of War. They might do like
It's where
They
it'll go.
specifically,
Son of
they
War.
specifically
War.
said this is the end of the Norse theme.
Mm.
So I reckon that they could still keep going with God of War, but like they said specifically for Norse storyline, that
Yeah.
this is it. So
They might just kill Kratos off and the son takes over. Like, you know,
Well, that's the thing.
branch
It's
off
not going to be.
into his own franchise.
Yeah. Well, it's the next game isn't going to be like, oh, it takes 10 hours to finish and that's it. It's if they're going to put all their time and effort into a second one and say that's that's the end of the of it. Well, that means they're obviously set up so that it's going to be like who knows, a 50-hour game to play,
Yep.
and that's where you get your bang for your buck in the sense of it. Rather than just kind of go, all right, let's spread this out between another game, and essentially, 2 and 3 are really just one game where it's, it would be better for everyone if, 2 would just be just, a game that everyone deserves rather than just something like, DLC, just, or buy extra content to have something that should have been in the first place.
I just thought about it. When they announced it was going to be 2 games, I thought about all those movies that they do, like Harry Potter series was 7 books, and then they split the last movie, and then it was just like there was cool parts in the first bit of the first movie, then there's cool parts in the second bit of the second movie. Could have been one movie. Then they did with the Hunger Games, and then they keep splitting it. Even Avengers, like the 2 latest ones, they split them, and I still think the first part's better than Endgame, even though Endgame has a really cool ending. I was like, so maybe that, more games that are just standalone, one and done, or if you have to come back a second time, make it the final time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like
And
one
plus
and
trying
done
to
games.
Yeah, And trying to top something again and again and again is going to be harder for them. So it's like if they make number 2 awesome, they put all the good content in there. They have to
Yep.
top that again, and the expectation, like you said, it's going to be people are just going to forget about it by then, or they've used all their good ideas in the second one just to top the last one. And we all know the last one was fantastic, just with everything in it. So it's I think as well, it's a good idea that they went with just being the next one. That's it.
I guess think about it this way. Good luck trying to release Half-Life 3 now.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
expectation's way too high, so it's never going to come.
Yeah,
yeah,
no,
exactly.
but like that. What I did like about the PlayStation showcase was Forspoken and Project Eve really kind of highlighted the power of a next gen console. Like those games looked insane.
Yeah.
Do you know the ones I'm talking about? Like that Project Eve was splashed all over the internet afterwards.
I don't know
Yeah.
anything about them. I just know they look good.
Yeah, the chick, because the chick, had a really pronounced butt in the trailer, but it looked really good. Another thing that stood out is Spider-Man 2. Like I can't wait for that. I like the idea of Peter Parker and Miles teamed up in
Well,
a game.
Spider-Man still has a nice butt too. Okay.
Spider-Man does. He does his squats.
Hmm.
All right, Tiny Tina. They had a lot of gameplay, and it looks just like Borderlands, which worries me.
Wonderland. Yeah.
Like if they don't deliver more, like it
I have
just
no
looks
idea what
like
to expect from
Borderlands.
that game.
Oh, like
Which game?
Tiny Tina
Tiny
Wonderland.
Oh yeah, looks
Yeah.
fun.
Oh,
Yeah, but it looks
like
like
like D&D except
Borderlands.
with guns.
Yeah.
So I was pretty excited. I'm actually, to be honest, like a lot of the lineup for the PlayStation showcase was for me very exciting.
Yeah.
Like I can't wait for Unspoken.
Yeah.
That looks so good, and
Yeah.
it's really going on the trope of the getting sent to another world. Like you can't now, if especially in anime at the moment, you can't go onto any of the anime sites without seeing 10 shows about people going to a different world, like going from a
Yeah.
normal world to a fantasy world.
Yeah.
So
Tales of Arise is that?
bringing that to a game is I reckon it's gonna be really cool. So yeah, can't wait for that one.
And their
Yeah,
biggest
Project.
trump card was probably Wolverine, right?
Yeah,
Even though it was like a 15-second clip.
Yeah.
yeah. Marvel's going all that with their games at the moment.
Yeah,
That's
it was.
Insomniac as well, isn't it?
Yeah, they're working on
was
2
Yeah.
games. That's a bit.
3.
What's
Well,
the
they haven't
third?
even
What's
they
the other
haven't
one?
even started Wolverine. They had a little
Yeah,
tag
it
at the
was
bottom of the screen
yeah.
saying
It,
not gameplay, just a
Yeah.
concept.
Because I got Guardians of the Galaxy,
Oh yeah.
Wolverine, the what's it called? The Marvel, probably forgotten the name of it, with the blade and all that,
Midnight Suns.
Yeah.
Midnight Suns, and then they just brought out the Black Panther for the
Avengers
Avengers,
game.
Yep.
which I have to jump on so I can get him.
yeah.
And then hopefully soon, eventually they'll fucking bring Spider-Man into it, but they haven't done that yet. So
They still haven't put.
no,
Really?
nah, Spider-Man's still not in the Avengers game yet.
And that
That's
was in
strange.
their what do they call it? Their roadmap too. Like
Yeah.
wasn't that supposed to be ages ago?
Oh, there was like
That was
oh, yeah,
that was
so
their selling point.
It's PlayStation only, and it's like, oh yeah, cool, and then yeah, it's still not in there. Like they brought in Hawkeye, and they brought in Kate Bishop Hawkeye, and then now they got Black Panther, and yeah, they still haven't come up with Spider-Man yet. So,
Did anyone play the old Wolverine Origins game?
yes, I did. I've played all the
So
X-Men games.
traditionally, game movies, like the movies that are like movies that have the little game spin-offs, are atrocious. Can we all agree on that?
Yep.
Yeah.
That game was hot trash, and I loved it so much. That's probably my favorite like
Oh my
like game based
God.
movie.
Yeah,
It was-
that one, and it was another Wolverine game, but it had Wolverine, Iceman,
Hmm.
and who else did they have? It was a Wolverine, like it was just an X-Men Wolverine game.
Yeah.
It was all about Wolverine, but they had like extra characters you could play, and one of them was Iceman, and
Yeah.
I think I can't remember who else. It was Wolverine, Iceman, and it was one of the female characters, Kitty Pryde, maybe.
Well, is Wolverine's a hard character to get right. and it's hard because it's a video game, so it's got to be
Yeah.
also aimed at a wide audience. So if they don't get his look right, it's gonna be crap. Like if they
'Cause
don't
it
get the
looks like they're
violence
trying to-
level right, it's gonna be crap because Wolverine's quite a violent.
Yeah.
Give him
It
a
looks like they're
job.
going
It's
like a
gonna flat
Last
out.
of Us vibe, like seriousness, and I'm kind of like, oh man, I miss like the crazy Wolverine
needs-
origins.
It needs to be up there, like, or it's just to me, it's not gonna be Wolverine. Like it's got to be quite violent, and it's got to be quite like he's got to look rugged. If he looks like a little pretty boy, that's not Wolverine. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the looks
Yeah.
pretty rugged by like the amount of blood and shit that was everywhere.
Yeah,
in
on
the
his
trailer.
knuckles and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
So
when I first saw it,
hopefully
I
they
thought it
nail
was
it.
actually a movie because I wasn't really paying attention. I saw it and I was like, oh, I sort of like
I
white
thought it was
noise
a
watching
movie
it.
trailer.
Yeah.
And then I was watching, I'm like, oh man, they actually bringing out the Wolverine movie. I wonder if what's his name, Eastwood's playing him. And then my mate's like, oh, did you see the new Wolverine game? And I was like, oh, it's a new movie.
Oh, it's a
He's like,
game.
no, it's a game. And then I went back and watched it again. I'm like, oh, it's a game.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, oh cool. I'm pretty excited for it.
Yeah.
I hope it's gonna be brutal.
I don't know. I think PlayStation are holding a lot of secrets up their sleeves still from after watching that showcase. What they were missing was a good shooter, but they had like no shooters. They were mainly like open worldy
It's like
RPG
Kryptonite.
type
They can't-
games. Yeah.
They can't do shooters.
Yeah, I was gonna say like
Yeah.
shooters are more of an Xbox thing.
It was very a niche market. Like it was very weeby, open worldy. I
Wasn't
don't know,
like-
Marvel comic book.
Yeah. It wasn't like the last big shooter on PlayStation, like Killzone and all those ones.
Yeah.
Killzone and Resistance were
Yeah,
the last ones
Resistance,
that
yeah.
I
That's
can
what they.
remember.
That's what they
What's the
should be
game
looking
Returnal
at.
was a shooter?
Eternal, an action
Oh,
adventure
yeah,
game.
Oh, Returnal. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
No,
yeah,
no, like-
I didn't find that to be because I'm not big. I'm not a big shooter mainly because I'm pretty crappy at shooters. But I didn't really find Returnal like overly
Overpowering
shootery.
shooty.
It felt more like a shooter as you would find
Strategic.
like Devil May Cry, where it's more like hack and slash except it's just bullet time instead.
Yeah.
Where you just basically just pointing the gun and just spraying and just hoping to kill everything before it kills you. But yeah, and more dodging and shooting because like you had to stay alive because if you died you have to start again. So it's
Yeah.
more like, oh, I have to try and survive. I have to try and strategically kill things without either put myself in too much danger. So you have to like set traps and all that other kind of stuff. So
It's a thinking game, not a pew pew game.
yeah, yeah.
Pew pew pew.
So it's not like a Call of Duty or anything like that.
Or Siege.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's move on a little bit because I got a couple more dot points and then we'll wrap it. Fletch wanted us to bring up Splitgate, which is, I don't mind talking about Splitgate. It's a free game. I kind of feel like it gets everything that makes a successful game right. It has
Portal-
battle pass,
Dominating.
Yeah.
pretty
Portal with
balanced,
guns.
crossplay. Yeah, portals with guns.
Yeah.
They've got like streamer programs and affiliate programs already. They've got their Discords popping off. They have ranked play. It's like feels retro, but it plays modern. I don't know. Does anyone want to chime in? Splitgate experiences.
I've
Uh,
played it. I've watched
Haven't
people
played
play
it
it.
yet.
You haven't?
Yeah, I've watched it.
So Brashy and Wookie haven't played. So
Yeah, I've only watched streamers play it. Like
Yeah.
I watched what was it OTV play it, and
That's
they seem to have a lot of fun with it.
Mhm.
Or they
It's
just make
really accessible. Like that's
Yeah.
like like it's free. So,
on
but
everything, Steam, PC. Yeah, well, Steam is PC.
but, like-
PlayStation, Xbox.
like obviously the design of it is timeless if you really think about it. Like like the like clean arenas, like nice white walls and stuff like that. Like it's
The maps
you
are
could-
amazing. I find too.
you wouldn't really have to update it. Like see Rainbow Six Siege hasn't been updated in 6 years, and you can kind of see it now. You're like, ooh.
Yeah.
But if they didn't update Splitgate for a while, you can kind of get away with it for a while. I saw some pretty cool costumes that you were wearing, like when you guys were playing the private games last night. So like,
Oh yeah,
like you had,
custom.
like,
We can even do custom games already. Like it's.
mm,
Well, mind you, the game's been out what 2 years? Pretty sure it's been out a while, but it's only been popping off recently.
yeah, like it's been
Since it went-
playable since 2019.
Yeah, since it went crossplay on consoles, it's back in the eyes of everybody.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because it
But
only came out on consoles so recently, right? It's still in
Mhm.
beta,
Mhm.
technically. I'm pretty
I don't
I
know.
think
sure.
because this is season 0, I think they're like officially like going past the beta
Not
name.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what the trailer drop for it was, the recent one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the history behind it because it was made by two guys attending Stanford University as like part of a project that they were making, and then they
Mhm.
decided to go, well, let's continue with this game. Even one of the creators gave up a job to work at Amazon to start their developer
Yep. The
developers
journey.
the journey for it, and they started to keep on working on Slipgate. And over the time previously, it had different names on it, like Portal War or something like that, and now they've settled on Slipgate. So it's could have been named something else, but
I love that you know
Yes.
the backstory behind it. That's awesome. I didn't even know it was just two little uni nerds going for gold.
Yeah, I think
yeah.
I think they had it on like a Kickstarter. That's where it went off.
And now they're making bank from the battle pass.
Yeah, they just. I think
And, like,
they
developing
finished.
stuff.
I think they ended up with $100 million. This was just announced recently. $100 million towards it, which they're now going to stay independent. They're not selling it anywhere. They're staying independent, and
Oh, good on them.
they're going to make it bigger and better than it already is.
I love that, like, little indie people like that make it free, and then they deserve, like, even like Among Us and Fall Guys, like they just well, was Fall Guys small? Devolver
Fall
Digital?
Guys is by
Like
Devolver Digital.
it was technically an indie, but like it
Yeah.
had a good backing behind it.
Yeah, like they deserve when they blow up, that sort of success.
But
People like Fortnite
the
irritate
fact that
me.
this is like an arena shooter type thing, like I know that Fortnite will forever be stuck in everyone's heads, and like that's not really going to go anywhere. But I don't think they have the numbers what they did a couple of years ago. Call of Duty Warzone, I feel like people are leaving that because they're getting frustrated with it. The game just
Bros, they're
became-
gonna Apex.
Hackers, too many hackers.
yeah. And like, do we think this kind of game model, even Apex itself, like introduces a new game mode that's not battle royale. It's an arena, like an arena style shooter,
Yep.
it almost honestly plays like a more complicated version of Rainbow Six Siege, where it's like 5 rounds and you start up and you get weapons and stuff like that. Do we think that we're seeing battle royale slowly dying off because Battlefield 2042 said no battle royale mode?
I think so.
Halo.
I think the
I
world's
think
done with
Halo,
yeah,
like,
I think
says
so.
no
I think
battle royale.
isn't Battlefield doing a. What game do you play? Tarkov. Battlefield apparently, from what I heard, are doing a Tarkov style game mode.
pretty cool.
Well,
Is that
means
right?
it would be. I don't know.
That's what I had. That's what I had heard recently. I didn't look into it. I just heard it.
Well, Tarkov is. They're changing it so eventually it's going to be a big open world. That's what their end goal is. So it's going to be, they have the raids that you go into timed, and eventually they're just going to open it up so you can just go wherever you want, and it's going to be seamless. But it's saying that it would be interesting if they did.
Yeah, well, I think that might be the mode, because I'm sure there's still something they haven't announced properly yet, and that might be it. So instead of an open world Warzone map type thing, it's Battle Royale map. It's a Tarkov style. It's a big map, but a Tarkov style game mode.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, the Tarkov style is similar to Hunt Shadow.
What's Hunt Shadow?
Shadow, like Hunt. The kill
the game we play,
monsters.
like
Showdown. Hunt Showdown.
Hunt Showdown. Sorry.
Yeah.
Was that and so you go in, you have your objective. Everyone just it's PvP and
trying to extract before someone kills you.
Yeah, so I can see that working in Battlefield. If they put that as a mode in instead of Battle Royale.
Yeah, that can work. It's like every couple of years they always try and find a new mode to jump on. So but Battlefield was everything, and then arena styles, and then like Fortnite, that's another mode. So eventually we'll rotate around to arena shooters again, and Slipgate is perfect for esports.
Fuck yeah, it is.
Yeah, great for it, and it's like short.
It's made for it.
Made for it, exactly. And like old school FPS games, that's where it's came from. And I think Slipgate is one of those games that
Are you saying
indulge something.
Are you saying Slipgate?
Split.
It's split.
Spit, further.
I'm sitting there thinking, is he saying Slipgate or is he
Yeah.
That's
Hunt-
alright.
You know what I mean.
Hunt
Hey, look at it,
Shadows?
he hasn't played
Tomato,
it.
Hunt-
He
Hunt-
knows the story.
He's talking about Hunt Shadows and he's talking about Slipgates.
Split game.
Confusing me, bro.
You read it
Oh,
on the tweeters.
I
Well,
read it on the tweeters.
You can
I'm,
actually.
I'm on the I'm on the tweeters. I'm on the tweeters. That's-
You're
I
on.
follow them on Twitter, and you
I
can
still
really
am
like.
going. Yeah.
Like, I really respect the devs because they know what they want from the game. Like,
Mm.
they wrote a big tweet like a couple of weeks ago. No, we are not adding wall running, and no, we're not doing custom loadouts. So stop asking. Because my friend's like, yeah, but you didn't say you weren't going to put a slide in.
Oh,
Really
God.
hope that they stick to their guns because I
Yeah.
don't want Halo. You know, through the years has always been you start with equal footing and then you can find power weapons on the map, and that's what made it interesting. You got to control certain points of the map, and then you
Yeah.
know ever since like they brought in custom loadouts for Halo, it's tanked and everyone hates it again.
Yeah,
It's
no,
because
yeah,
it's just
the-
COD.
It's
It's just a
fighting to
different
get to the good
COD
weapons
game.
is what makes those games. Speaking of Halo, you segued into that real well. We were gonna talk about Halo have just announced that they're gonna release their game in parts, but they want you to pay full price for the game. How do we feel about games that are now taking that route of making you pay but not giving you everything?
I'm really upset specifically for Halo because I'm a
Yep.
huge Halo nerd, and
Yep.
they released the campaign, but not co-op. And they're like, "Oh, we'll release it later on." I don't want to play co-op in 3 months. I want to play it when I get the
Now,
damn
I want
game.
my first experience to be with my friends. Oh my
Yeah.
God, that sounds like a virginity ad or something.
it's,
That's what it's like in
it's,
gaming.
it's just really frustrating because that was the selling point as well because they took away split screen for Halo 5,
Yep.
and everyone was basically ready to bury the whole franchise.
Mm.
And then they're like, "We're coming back. We're bringing like couch co-op and all this stuff." And I just don't understand why that's a feature that they can't they're bringing in later on. It doesn't make sense to me. Like I'm not a game developer, but if you make a campaign, I don't know. It seems weird. And
Well,
I
Fletch
mean,
and I were talking about this before stream. Like, even the new Battlefield, like they're not going to have servers,
there's no private servers. There's no
Yeah.
Straight up.
campaign. There's
Which
no
they used
full
to.
game modes.
Yeah.
Side note, they delayed Battlefield 2042 to November 19, which was Cyberpunk Day last year. You think it's
Oh
cursed?
no! Oh no!
Yeah,
Omen.
yeah. So
Jinx.
I was like, I've seen this before.
I think it's a good move. I think it's not good for Call of Duty though, because
Mm.
I think people are going to get a bit over Call of Duty quickly, possibly. And
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, Ultimate Call of Duty's not going to have the campaign straight up. Was it one of them?
no, Call of Duty hasn't
Or is
announced
not
that
even
one.
having a campaign.
No, it's having one.
Yeah,
sure.
that one is.
I don't know.
So instead
I
of
think they're
releasing,
talking about. I think
that.
it's talking about like a third mode because like every Call of Duty game has like a third mode.
Oh,
It has like
yeah.
zombies or like a Spec Ops. I don't think it has a third mode. I think that they're just like, oh, you've got Warzone. We don't have to do anything extra.
Anything extra.
Yeah. So you
Mm.
still got. So you're still dealing with the hackers then.
well, they added anti-cheating now, bro. Where are you being, Simon?
That
That-
Seriously?
anti-cheating doesn't mean
Seriously,
anything.
Simon-
Well, if everyone's leaving to play Apex.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but they've only just
still-
brought it in, just recently. What do you think Red Grove got banned for?
Oh, yeah, Red
Hackers
Grave's got
find a way
perma ban.
around it.
Red
Hackers
Grave's got-
always find a
Yeah,
way
but
around it.
the thing is with
Nothing.
Call of Duty, like the anti-cheat system, is that if you get banned, what happens then? You just create another free account, and then just
Yeah,
play
they're apparently tackling that too.
yeah. They
Anyway,
did
back
that.
to what we're
they've
talking
had that
about
issue.
because we totally
Yeah, yeah,
skipped
yeah.
it. How do we feel about games being released partly and being paid, having to pay the full price?
Shouldn't pay
Are we
full
down
price.
for that? Or are we not down for that?
No, because by the time something comes out later on, like co-op or servers or whatever, I might not be playing it, and I've already paid full price.
Mm. Yeah. What
It-
about you,
it's-
Brash? How do you feel? It's kind of like
Well, it's kind of like Final Fantasy, but with Final Fantasy, at least you got like a 40-hour game. And now with the DLC as well to add a little bit more extra. But to get the campaign without the multiplayer, and I remember like the only reason why I played Halo back in the day was because all my friends played Halo, and we all played like we'd co-op in the campaign, and we'd also just play co-op and just kill each other in multiplayer. So to bring out Halo without multiplayer, without any co-op,
It's
I
a
don't
travesty,
think
right?
it's not going to go down well because that's the whole. Well, I
Yeah.
feel for Halo, that's the whole point of Halo. The whole point of Halo is LAN parties.
Mm.
Well,
They've even
now,
Well, yeah.
laid the Forge on it as well, which is like the map editor, which is
Mm.
been a big staple since 2007. I
yeah,
was like, come on, man, just put someone in there with some blocks and let us build some stuff. Minecraft
talk-
can do it.
Yeah, exactly. We talked about this a long time ago too, I think, and we said they were going to start doing this more, and it'd be a killer to the game industry if they started doing stuff
If they're
like
gonna
this.
do it, release the game initially
I feel like
cheaper,
they're going
and then
cheaper.
bring out initially, and then if they're gonna add in co-op later, do it in like an expansion with a bunch of other stuff that you can either pay for or you don't want to pay for.
It's a sneaky way of them just throwing out a half-baked game, you know.
well, that's what I feel. I feel like they don't want to because so many games now are getting pushed forward. Pushed back, and kept getting pushed back and pushed back. And Halo probably just is like seeing all these games get absolutely ripped apart because they're getting pushed back. They're like, oh, we don't want to have to deal with this shit. So they're like, hey, we'll give you the campaign, but unfortunately, yeah,
It's been pushed
multiplayer
back a
takes
year
that
already,
later.
though. It's like the
That's
worst.
what I mean.
It's already
That's
the
what I mean.
worst pushback game.
They
thing-
don't want to make it any worse. So they're like, oh no, you guys can have the campaign. We've got the campaign here for you, but the multiplayer is still coming.
I'm still
It's
blown
not-
off.
it's not a bit.
They're basically saying, yeah, the game's not ready, but we'll
Yeah.
give you what we've got so far.
Yeah, pretty much.
This other
Yeah,
bit makes me irrationally angry about it as well, because you can assassinate people in the other Halo games, like from Halo Reach onwards. You know, in Warzone, when you walk up and you hold down the melee button, it does the assassination thing.
Yep.
They're like, oh yeah, we're just not going to put that in the game to start with. I'm like, what have you done with the game?
Can you
What are
imagine?
you giving us?
Can you believe they were going to release this a year
I'm
ago?
so angry about it.
Oh no.
It's gonna be like three episode three
I don't know,
parts,
but
and it's just. It's just gonna be so basic. It's just you're gonna run through, kill a bunch of enemies, get to like the end of like the stage,
Hmm.
and it's just gonna be like, oh yeah, and then you'll get to another. It'll be like three different stages. It'll be like one on the planet, one on a spaceship, one in the arch or some shit, and then that's it.
like what gets me even more is the fact that Halo multiplayer is going to be free to play.
Yeah.
So that means it's even worse, because if you think about it, then the only part you're buying is an incomplete campaign because you already get the multiplayer for free. It's just getting worse. I'm really angry about it.
Oh no.
So-
That's
And
terrible.
Sabby brought up a good point. Can you imagine how bad it was?
Yeah.
then,
So a year ago,
when it was supposed
a
to
year
be?
ago, this was a launch title. What were they
Yeah.
releasing?
Yeah.
A stick figure. It was a stick figure running
Oh,
across the screen.
Were they releasing just that demo that they showed?
I was gonna say a literal demo. That's it.
It just blows my
They
mind.
release
It
trailer
really
one, and then they
does.
just don't tell anyone. And halfway
15
through, you're like, wait a
minutes.
minute.
15 minutes of gameplay. That's it.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
It's just really getting to me, because I'm like, if you break it down that way, and you can't even, and they're getting away with it because it's Game Pass. So technically, if you already got Game Pass, you just get it. But if anyone wants to go to the store and buy it, you're buying it, like, and then half the game is free to download anyway, and the other half isn't even released on the disc. So yeah,
Like,
that
can't
sucks.
answer you. Look how Reddy's face is going.
I'm so angry about it. You have no
Hey,
idea.
Don't worry,
Alright.
they've done this in the past with other games. For example, when they tried to do Half-Life episodic,
Mhm.
remember that? And they released what, 2 episodes, and they stopped on a cliffhanger, and it was never finished. And then there was Sin, that was
Well, that's always the
episodic.
fear, right?
Yeah, and then they released 1 episode, and it was never finished. And then when you get so many, like, if you get games like that, it's just, especially with Halo, they missed their opportunity, bro, having it come out last
Yeah.
year, especially
Always
like
do that
because it's a
too.
flagship game, and
Mhm.
then they've delayed it to now, and then they're saying, of course, multiplayer, which a lot of people just jump on for the multiplayer, and if you're just going to have campaigns separate, and in separate, smaller chunks, what's the point? You're letting that game die, because you know, it's people are going to pick it up, play it for a couple hours, and go, "Is that it?" And then, are they going to pick it up again when the next part comes up? Is it really going to be worth it because they've already paid full price?
I'm saying they might not. There's probably something else out by then that they're in.
Yeah, exactly.
We've already seen 2 huge issues of this last year. Last of Us 2 came out, and I like the game, and like it won Game of the Year, and a lot of people hated it and stuff like that. But that was supposed to have multiplayer. Still hasn't come out. Nobody's going to go back to that game for multiplayer now.
And you've already paid full price.
Yep.
Yeah,
We got you, sucker.
Yeah, and I paid full price for that. Never got a multiplayer, and I've sold the game now. Like I don't even have it anymore. It still hasn't come out. Cyberpunk 27 was supposed to have some multiplayer. Ain't nobody touching that game at the
Oh my
moment.
god, I forgot about that. That was
People still pay full price for that. You know what I mean? It's like, and then they're just like, whoa, we get away with that one. They're not even doing anything with it.
Going back to Brashy, was Spider-Man supposed to be free?
Which Spider-Man
From Marvel's
for
Avenger.
Yeah, it was. I think it was free. It wasn't.
It's free for PlayStation. Like it's only available for PlayStation because
That hasn't been put in either.
all of Avengers stuff is free.
Yeah.
Yep.
So all the new characters and all that, all the new episodes is all free. The only thing is, only PlayStation people can get Spider-Man because Spider-Man's a exclusive.
Yeah, but they haven't. My point is they haven't.
Oh yeah, no, but yeah, they haven't got Spider-Man. But the same with Resident Evil 8. They have that multiplayer game, or the Resident Evil had that multiplayer.
That's right.
Where's
They'll
that?
bring it out. I went to go play it the other night because I'm like, oh, I'll see if it's out yet. Because I tried playing it when it first came out and it wasn't ready. And then I went to go play it the other night to see if it was out yet. Still not gone. So
See, they think they've got us, but we remember.
yeah,
They should release the game and give me $10. Let's release the
they need to
multiplayer.
give me $10. I'll give it back to them when they put something in.
If enough people pipe up about it, honestly, you could probably get your money back.
Well,
yeah.
Because you didn't get what you paid for. You don't have.
You get that with Cyberpunk. A lot of people
exactly.
got their money back for that.
and that's why, like I said, that's why I said I don't like episodic games.
Especially if they got
Very much. I just like a full game. Just give me a full game to play, and that's why I like Life is Strange. The new Life is Strange is really good because it's just a full game. And but like seeing all this now, like it makes Final Fantasy VII a little bit better for me because at least with like Final Fantasy VII, like you get so much extra content in it. Like you get to learn more about Biggs, Wedge, and oh god, don't let me forget her name now. Oh god, I can't remember.
See,
her name now.
that right there is a prime example of why I get upset about how there's so like long between things because I forget after a week.
Oh, how can I not remember her name?
Yeah, I'm bad with controls, especially with controls.
Yep.
I only played it like a week ago. But yeah, like there's so many like extra characters you get to they're expanding upon now, and that you get to see more of. And I thought that was really good. So I'm like, oh, I can't wait now for the next ones because there's gonna be so much extra content in these other ones as well.
What was that PlayStation exclusive game that's no longer PlayStation exclusive? No Man's Sky.
Oh yeah.
And that was like a hot mess when it came out, and like destroyed any hype that thing had. And then like 4 years later, they're like, "Here's multiplayer," and everyone's like, "That game's still a thing." It's kind of popping off at the moment.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say, even I was gonna like, I'm looking at buying it because I'm like, all in my bike because
My boyfriend plays it all the time. He loves it.
Honestly, I want a good space game. Like, I want like a space game where like you are like a captain of a spaceship with like a crew.
Isn't that what's that game that someone reviewed recently? Space something or other?
Oh yeah, I was actually looking.
That one's exactly what that is.
I did that the Startopia space base.
Yeah, that's it.
It's a good game, like but you're only building a base, so you're not flying a ship.
Yeah, I want like say like Firefly, like the show Firefly.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Like like a game like that where you fly around a ship, you got crew, you have to maintain your ship and repair your ship, and like each crew member has like a specialized part. So sort of like
Starfield.
Starfield. That's what I'm thinking of. Starfield.
Have you heard of Star Citizen?
Star Citizen, no.
Oh,
Uh,
Star
Citizen-
Citizen is cool.
Star
My friend
Citizen.
plays that.
Star Citizen,
Pretty full on
it's it's full on. It's been in development for ages. The story behind it is basically they did a fundraiser. They managed to get like $1 billion to make the game. They were planning on making a campaign for it, which they promised years ago, but they still haven't released it. The campaign had like well-known actors in it, like Mark Hamill, just names upon names for it. But what they have done so far, they've released magnificent ships, and yeah, it's exactly like what you're saying. Like you can have a small fighter, just fly that around, or you can get a huge ship and have a full crew that commands everything, hops on turrets. You can go out and mine asteroids, or they've been working on a prison system. So if you get caught, you get sent to prison, and you can go to live out your days in prison till you either you can, you know, get released, or if you've got friends, they can break you out of prison, and it's like an intricate way of doing
Yeah.
so. But yeah, the game has been in works for so long. But what they have done so far is still very entertaining and still magnificent what they've achieved. But it's kind of like a lot of people think they've bitten off more than they can chew, especially with what they're promising. But what they have given so far, as I said, it's
Do they keep
fantastic.
charging for consistent
Yes.
releases for that? Okay.
Well, for the ships, yeah, if you want to get bigger ships, but they did promise all the ships in the game, you can get them yourself by, getting resources and so on.
That's
So,
been like a 10-year thing so far of like just continually updating that game, right?
yeah. And the most expensive ship that you can buy with real world money, but there was a package, it was $20,000.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a very expensive game. But,
damn.
as I said, you can get. They're eventually going to release everything for the game, but it's taking a very long time.
Yeah.
Look into it, Star Citizen. If you're going for that whole space aspect for it.
Yeah.
But
I had two friends playing that, and they were streaming to show me like what it's like. And apparently, like if you're in the passenger seat in one of the ships, if you pull the ejector seat, it just detonates the whole ship.
Oh dear.
yeah, they're still working on a lot of bugs. The game still is not finished, 100%.
Yeah. I would like a mash between like say Outer Worlds and Elite Dangerous.
Yeah. that-
What season are
Where
they
you got
ones?
like where we got like dogfighting of like Elite Dangerous like out in space, and like you go
Mhm.
around and collect bounties and stuff like that. But then like the Outer Worlds sort of thing where you can actually get off your ship and explore like a alien planet or something
Mhm.
like that.
You can do that in Star Citizen as well. You can get like a little buggy. You can land on planets. They've got a few like star bases you can go to that are on planets or space stations that you can just land on and walk around and interact with people. So yeah, check it out. But be wary, it's going to take a while. So
Oh,
yeah,
I'll
but the history
Alright.
behind it is
look into
fantastic.
it.
Well, as a bit of a wrap up, I was going to get Subby to talk about. So, because so many games are delayed, there is a positive. Lots of betas are out to test the waters on new titles. Subby's been playing Vanguard. Do you want to have a quick wrap up summary of Vanguard? By the way, I hate it, but we'll see.
I mean,
how
there's a few
the
of us
resident
playing
COD player
Vanguard. I mean, look,
feels.
I don't hate it. I think it's just Modern Warfare. It feels like I'm playing the World War II game again, on the latest engine. That's all it feels like.
Yeah.
I don't hate it. I don't hate it. It's Call of Duty. I'm going to
Yeah.
play it. I do like Call of Duty. I don't like it as much as I used to play it. I don't play it anywhere near as much as I used to play it. But I'll play it. I'll play it for a bit.
The first one in a while where I actually don't want to buy it. I just don't want to spend money on it. Same stuff.
It's the
Like,
first.
COD is always the same stuff, but
It is also the first COD in a long time with more than just like 6 maps coming out too. It's got like 18 maps at launch. So that's interesting to sort of see how good are these 18 maps.
his opinion's better than mine, guys.
I don't know. The beta
I do
doesn't really give you much. It gives you Champion Hill, which I'm not a huge fan of, but it's just like a different take on the old gunfight, 2v2s and 3v3
What else do you like
modes.
about it? What's different? Is there anything different?
I think the most obvious change this time around, other than the theme of the game, is the destructibility of the map itself. They're trying to, it's a little bit of
Same vibe.
Battlefield feel to it, so you can
shoot through
break through
walls.
walls and you can actually shoot tiles off, interior columns and other glass bits and pieces. So it's got a lot of destructibility. 1 minute you're inside a hotel map, it's fine when you start off, and by the time you kind of get towards the end of the map, the inside is just destroyed. It's just shit everywhere. So that's probably the biggest change. But again, the beta doesn't have a lot in it. There's a few modes. I think there's kill confirm, TDM. What else? Demolition. What's it called? Search and destroy. Domination. Probably the only other difference is they've got things like tactical pacing. So you've got TDM, but they've got tactical pacing in Blitz. So you might play one map with 6v6, then you might play it in Blitz mode, which is 20v20 on the same map. So the game, same map, but the game's paced differently. So that's a bit weird. But other than that, there's not much in the beta just yet.
Yeah.
I think tomorrow it finishes, so I might jump on a bit later on after some dinner because I still haven't eaten dinner yet.
Yeah.
Jump on and just see if they've added anything, because usually they do add things during the beta.
In the last days,
a bit
yeah.
of spiel of the Halo beta. Is that starting up again?
Yeah, Halo
Starts
starts
this
this weekend and then next weekend.
Yeah.
The thing that I really want for Halo, because I was just thinking about it, like, listening to Call of Duty Vanguard, is I could say that it doesn't interest me, but if you asked me what I would do to fix it, I couldn't give you an answer.
That's the thing. This is my point. I mean,
you can't fix COD. It's what it is. What it is. It's a run and gun shooter.
What I'm excited for in Halo, like with the Halo beta, is that hopefully they have vehicle gameplay, because they went away from it for a while. Like like the original Halo games were, they throw power weapons and vehicles and everything respawns, and like capture the flag was super fun because you got to drive a car up there and jump in the back and stuff like that. Like it felt more chaotic than just running around with a gun. Like it's always like gunplay is always fun, but I just really like that about Halo. So I hope that this Halo beta coming up has just some vehicles, like vehicle gameplay. They're actually doing it 2 weeks in a row. Next weekend is the big team battle, so that's they definitely have vehicles in that. I just want something that breaks it up a little bit so you can have fun game modes. I mean, the other Halo games have like Fiesta mode, and that was the big thing I liked about Forge. Like Forge, same as GTA 5. That's kept that game going for so long, because people can make their own maps and make their own game types. I don't think that GTA 5 would have had the lifespan it had if it didn't have those custom maps. So like that's what I want from Halo, and that's the thing that's delayed.
Yeah.
Well, besides the RP for GTA as well, role playing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely. You can do a lot more in GTA than you can in the other games, but every time I tune into a GTA stream, there's a custom map and then like things that they've done. They look genuinely amazing. Sometimes I'm like, man, like the creativity's wild on that.
On that note, let's just have an RP Halo.
That'd be interesting.
If they released it all in one go, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think at the end of the day, we the gamers are winners because there's so much good stuff going on. You can find us on all social media, MKAU. You can find our merch in the link below. Any final shout outs that I missed? That was episode 10 of season 2, guys. We will be back with season 3 in a couple of weeks/months. I don't know yet. Bye.
Bye.
See ya.